BenQ just released a brand new golf sim focused laser projector that is the successor to their AH500ST. It keeps that same super short 0.49 throw ratio while cranking the lumens all the way up to 4000 for an extremely bright image. They redesigned the housing with a cool stealth black finish and added so much adjustabilities that it's probably going to work for most of the people watching. Let's take a look at this new projector and see if this may be the one you've been waiting for. A big issue a lot of people face when trying to build a golf simulator is determining where exactly to put their projector or what type of projector they need for their setup. This is something I talk about quite frequently when I'm doing my free consults, where people have different types of rooms, different setups, different spaces that they have to work around, and having a projector with an extremely short throw ratio and a lot of adjustability is usually pretty crucial in the sim build process if you don't have an ideal setup. If you saw my previous video where I reviewed the BenQ AH500ST, in order to fill my screen that's 140 inches diagonal, I had to have that projector 9 feet away from the screen. With the 500ST having that 0.49 throw ratio, I can have that same size image from just 6 feet away. This may come into play when you're doing your sim setup if you don't have that depth, or based on your hitting location, if that projected image is going to cast a shadow onto your screen, which you obviously don't want. The 500 also has quick focus. That gets you the clarity you need with the press of a button, utilizing its built-in infrared camera, electric focusing lens, and allows you further manual tweaking to get your image as clear as possible. And also maintains that same small form factor and is very close in dimensions to the AH700ST. Not only that, it features a sealed laser engine, making it low maintenance and perfect for dusty areas, and it has temperature control, allowing the projector to operate in temperatures as high as 104 degrees and all the way down to just 32. This is perfect when you have your sim setup, say in a garage or an area with no climate control, as you want to make sure if you don't have that climate control, your projector can still operate and not have to worry about overheating or having any issues with certain temperatures. It can also utilize a Wi-Fi dongle, allowing you to wirelessly display select golf sim software directly from your device to the projector. This is great for people that don't have a budget for beefy computers or have temporary setups, as it allows you to use your phone, tablet, iPad, or Windows device to screen share directly to your projector. This means that for those of you who maybe have temporary setups, maybe you just put it up in the winter, or maybe on the weekends you convert your garage into a golf simulator setup, all you have to do is have this projector plugged in, and using that Wi-Fi dongle, you can wirelessly stream the image directly to your projector and onto your screen. With this projector, not only do you get the ability to throw an 8-foot tall image from just 7 feet away from the screen, but you get built-in lens shift with a massive 112 degree of adjustability, allowing you to place it off center or higher up without the need of angling it down to clear the top of your enclosure. And it obviously also has keystone adjustments when placement is less than ideal, and 4-corner correction to get that perfect fit. This projector also features screen fill, allowing you to switch from a 1:1, a 4:3, 16:9, and 16:10 aspect ratios with the press of a button. This is awesome as it eliminates the need of going into your graphics card settings and tweaking the image to fit your screen perfectly. The projector came packaged extremely well and comes with a remote that has all of the buttons right at the top that you would need to make quick adjustments after setup, as well as controls built right on the unit. Determining the projector location is easy using BenQ's free sim planner tool, where you enter your dimensions and it shows where to place your projector for your setup. I'll link that free tool down in the description below. I decided to hang my unit on the ceiling with a projector mount since I already had a mount up there for my apogee, but because this projector offers so much adjustability, you can easily use a floor mount or have it offset and out of the way based on your needs. I'll link both of those mounts down below. All right, now that we got through all the technical specifications of the AH500ST, I wanted to give you my thoughts in a real world setup. So right now I have it set up in the most ideal location. It is dead center of my screen. It's exactly 6 foot back, and I didn't really have to use any of those image shifts, keystone adjustments, or corner fit. So this is like the most ideal setup. And what I wanna do is I'm gonna test it in the ideal setup, and then I'm gonna put it in a less ideal setup where you might run into in your sim build, where you can't have it like dead center and mount it perfectly. And we're gonna utilize all those different image settings that are available to us to make it work with our setup. So I'm on GS Pro right now at Pebble Beach, hole number 7, super iconic hole. And I'm gonna hit a couple shots and kind of see how it performs, if there's any lag, make sure the frame rates are able to keep up with it. It is running in ultra settings, so the highest settings for this at 1080p, which is the native resolution for this projector. And I'm gonna hit those shots and then take it down and probably put it over here, maybe to the right, for those people who have to do temporary setups or they can't mount it, you know, directly above, right in front of their hitting location, and just see if we notice any difference in image quality while we're doing that type of setup. So I can tell you right off the bat, the image looks really good. I mean, even though it's 1080p, that 4000 lumens, this is a really bright image, and I don't have it dark in here whatsoever. And again, I'm hitting from 8 feet back from my screen. The front of the projector is 6 feet from my screen. And you can see in this hitting zone, and I'm actually in front of my hitting zone right now, I'm not casting a shadow with my body. If I start walking closer towards it, now I'm about 4 feet away, still, it's not catching my head. That's the benefit of having that super short 0.49 throw ratio, is you don't have to worry about casting that shadow if you have to go too far back with your projector for your setup. So if I get in here a little closer, this is where I start to catch, which I'm not gonna be hitting this close because I would hit my screen with my golf club. So yeah, let's hit some shots here. I'll take it down and then we'll put it on the floor in a really weird setup and just see if the image quality is affected at all. But yeah, plenty bright. It's a little thin and blocked, but let's watch the frame rates. Yeah, no stuttering, no skipping. Everything looks really smooth and really bright. So that's a huge plus for it. We'll hit one more for good measure. A little toe side, but should be all right. Oh, probably have too much club. But yeah, again, I mean, the image looks really good. Again, this is GS Pro and Ultra settings on my GC3. So let's take this thing down, put it over here to the right, which may be something you have to do in your setup where you can't have it dead center, and let's see if the image quality is affected at all. All right, so I got my projector taken down from the ceiling, which it was in the ideal position, and I put it in a less ideal scenario, which may be something you face when you're putting a projector together, which is one of the big pluses for the AH500ST, having all that adjustability. So I put it in my Carl's Place floor mount unit. I have it off to the side here to the right, and you'll notice that it is actually further back than what it's spec'd to be at. That's one thing you have to take into account when you're picking a projector, is if you can't get it in that perfect spot, any offset that you have that projector, you're gonna have to move it further back because you're gonna need to use those digital corrections to get it to fit your screen correctly. So I have it back about 8.5 feet. I still have my GC3 set up and it's fine. It doesn't clip or hit any of the objects around it, including the GC3. The image is still plenty bright, but I do notice right out the gate that it did lose a little bit of that brightness, and that's one thing to take into account. When you have your projector in an ideal setup, you're getting that 4,000, that full 4,000 lumens of light output. Once you start moving it back and kind of offsetting it a little bit, yes, you're gonna lose a little bit of that brightness just because that light is being thrown that much further. And then using digital corrections, you're gonna lose a little bit of that image quality as well. But I can tell you in this case, the image still looks really good. It's plenty bright. I try to keep the lighting the same as it was for the ceiling mount, just to keep it kind of apples to apples. I'm back on GS Pro on hole 7 at Pebble Beach. And I'm gonna hit a couple shots and we're gonna see if it has any kind of like frame rate issues or stuttering, and make sure everything still looks smooth and we don't notice anything kind of out of whack. And then as far as golf mode, like I didn't explain that earlier, but yes, this does have golf mode just like my BenQ LK936ST and just like my AH500ST projector. And that is perfect because if you're somebody who is constantly tinkering around trying to find the right video settings, golf mode's already enabled on this projector. You don't have to worry about color or any of that. They kind of take all that into account with their golf mode, and it's catered really to golf sim software. You get those super vivid greens, the blues of the sky, and they just do a really good job. So when picking a projector, whether it's this one or another one, I'm telling you right now, golf mode's definitely the way to go. All right, I'm gonna hit a shot here and we'll see how it runs. Pulled a bit. That's pretty much right on target. And yeah, I didn't notice any kind of stuttering. Everything looks really good. Again, just a little less bright than it was in that ideal setup. And I would say, you know, a little less image quality as well. Obviously, if you have the ability, put it in the ideal setup, but you do have the comfort with this one if you want to just throw it down, get going. You can use that built-in Wi-Fi dongle, cast from an iOS or a Windows device straight to it, and it just makes for a really easy setup. So I'm gonna hit one more shot here and then I'll close this video out with my final thoughts and who I think this is for. That is left of left. But yeah, again, no issues with frame rates or stuttering or clipping or anything like that. So let's get this video closed out with my final thoughts. So who is the AH500ST for? I honestly think this is gonna fit most people's builds as it offers a lot of flexibility, and having that super short 0.5 throw ratio just allows it to be in places that are tighter. Maybe you don't have as much space for a big simulator and you can't have a projector so far back that it's gonna project an image onto the screen from casting your shadow. I also think it's gonna be great for those of you who have garage builds where it's, you know, no climate control, dusty environments, or just temporary setups. You know, having that flexibility with that digital lens shift, being able to put the projector off to the side, I think is gonna work for a lot of you out there. As far as how does this compare to the AH700ST that I reviewed earlier, well, you don't get that auto screen fit feature where it kind of like maps out where the screen is and automatically adjusts the image. But what you do get is the ability to have that projector sitting just 7 feet away to project an 8-foot tall image, which is probably gonna work for a lot of you with your setups, just from the people that I talk to in my free consults. But again, with so many options out there, a lot of times you need to ask yourself, what is the right projector for you? And if you have those questions, feel free to reach out to us directly. We do offer free consultations. We'll speak to you on the phone, Google Meet, we can do a FaceTime, and we'll really just talk you through your sim build process and figure out what's gonna work the best for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Comment any questions you have down below or just reach out to me directly and I'm more than happy to answer any questions that went unanswered in this video. Thank you again, BenQ, for sending this projector. I think it's a really good addition to the sim build community and really look forward to seeing it in some future builds. We'll see you guys on the next video.